You have the stories. The stories are really great for brand building and trust building, right? People see a little bit of your behind the scenes of what you do. Like I remember one of your students said something that drew my attention. She said, "Oh, I love the fact that Cosmina had a dog. I saw her dog all the time. I'm also a coffee drinker. I noticed she drinks coffee every morning." So, as people, we relate to people that do similar things, and they like similar things that we like, right? If I'm into fitness and I see, I don't know, any kind of service, and then I look at his stories or her stories, and I see that that person, that's the business owner that I'm probably going to buy some service, they're into fitness too. All of a sudden I create a connection, and it's another trigger that in my brain says, yes, yes, a little more.
You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosmi's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.
Like she's not a customer yet, but I had a direct message on Instagram not too long ago of a coach, and she said to me, "Oh, I've been following you for a while. I didn't realize you do jiu-jitsu. I'm a brown belt. I've been a brown belt for so many years. I love the training. I'm not ready yet to accept more customers, but when I do, I'll reach out to you just because I know we have this connection. Now it's this connection that you create, right? So stories are great for that. Then you have the highlights. Highlights are great for testimonials and product showcase. Showcase your products in the highlights. Then you can pin the pinned tree post. You can pin top. So let's say I always recommend everybody to have at least 9 posts before they start their first campaign. So that comes down to the fact that when somebody gets on your Instagram page without scrolling, they can see your 9 posts, right? Then you have the reels, right? Maybe at first you're not good on camera. Unfortunately, I had to break it to you. It's 2023. Or depending when
you have to.
When it comes to an end, it's 2024 almost, you have to get better on camera, right? First, if you're not comfortable seeing your face on camera, do behind the scenes of just showing your work. So then we have direct message, which is people are used to buy services and products in their DM. They're used to being pitched. It's not something foreign. I hate when, for example, I think I got a direct message on TikTok, and I haven't seen it for like 3 weeks because I don't check my DMs on TikTok because I wasn't used to have this feature on it. But IG, I'm used to getting pitched. I'm getting pitched every day. Now I'm not buying every day, but I'm getting pitched every day, and I don't mind because I'm expecting to be pitched. Then you have Instagram Live. I know you don't do it as much, but we've done it a few times. That's also good for Q&A. If people have questions, you can answer live on. It's almost like you give your time for free to people that have questions. Yeah. And then we have my favorite, which is the ads. So now you don't even have to have, like, you can have 0 followers. You post a 9 post, you have your account optimized, and now you want to reach more people. And the question is, what do you? So you post an offer, and that can be $50 off. 50% off, depends on, you have to beat your competition in this case. Because you're just starting out, you look at your competitors, you see what your competitors are doing, and you want to make your offer better than them. I remember when we did this the first time, one of the direct competitors was Lash Lounge. It was in Somerville. And I think they had a 50% or 30% off for their first classic set. And we did 50% off, 20% more. But you also need a little bit of a strategy on that. We won't go because that's a little more advanced of what we did because it wasn't at the beginning. But in this case, until your calendar is booked, you need to, and you're always running a promotion. Like, it doesn't matter what promotion, you're always running a promotion.
I'm running even now promotion.
Of course, because we as people, our brain works great with promotions. So then you will see on Instagram when you post a video or a photo, it's a little button that says boost. And a lot of people in the marketing world, they hate that word, that button, because it makes it so easy for Instagram to take your money. But in this case, it's actually a good idea to use it, especially because you don't need to get too fancy with who you target. The most important thing is the fact that you can target your city
Around you,
or
right?
even zip code specifically next to you. Or if you live in a small city, you might need to add more than one city in the targeting. So you can have 0 followers and you start this campaign. And again, you want to promote the post that talks about a promotion. So when you promote that, you target your ideal clientele or the people that you want to attract. In your case, we even made this avatar. I always like to say your ideal customer is Joanne, and she's 35 plus years old, and she lives in Winchester and she works in finance. And she has to make over 50, 60, over 50, 60K a year, because lashes are not cheap. Right. And they're not cheap to maintain, because you need to come back and that's the beauty of the business, because it's recurring. So you launch this campaign, and the first question that typically comes down to, how much do I spend? So if you can spend $1 and get $2 back, how much you want to spend?
2,000.
That's it? You only want to make 4,000? You want to spend unlimited money,
right,
if you can make it profitable.
Right.
So in the lashes world, the way that the numbers work, from what I've seen in your case, is typically people stick around for an average between 6 to 10 months. It really depends on a couple different factors. Won't go into it now. But let's say you charge $200 for the first set and $100 on a refill to make the numbers easy. So if people spend $200 to get in and then $200 a month to maintain, they stick around, let's say 10 months, let's say to make the numbers easy. 200 times 10 is 2,000, plus another 200 to come in. So that's $2,200 per one customer, that as long as you're doing your job properly, they should come back for roughly anywhere between $1,500 and $2,200. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Again, there are a couple factors in between. But the reason that I mentioned this is, when you spend money to acquire customers, you have to remember about that number, right? Yes, at first you might charge a little less because you want to penetrate the market a little bit. You don't want to be too low on the market share, because you're going to attract an audience that when you raise your prices, it's going to be hard for you to keep the customers, because most of them won't afford it anymore. You don't raise your prices until you're completely booked. That's another episode. But so at first, you think about who you want to target. So they're clearly women, and the age bracket. Again, it really depends where you're located, how big the city, how big of a population. Because Instagram will tell you, if you are, let's say, in Boston and you select woman and you select 30 or 25 years old and above, the audience is going to keep shrinking when you put these filters, because these are filters, right? Is going to say, all right, you're in Boston, boom, 800,000 people available to target. You select woman, boom, 200,000. You select, I'm just making numbers up. It might be much higher, and then you select, well, only 25 and above. Boom, it dropped. 25 and above, woman and then at first, you can even stop there. That's enough filters for you to start your first campaign. And then a call to action should be always, both in the bio and in that post, DM me for more details about this offer. And that's it. You don't want to make it too complicated, because at first, again, you don't need a website. Right. You can get it started really on the same day of their training. If they create their Google My Business listing, Instagram account, and then a Facebook page, they can literally start this the next day or the same day.
Now, my question is, to make it more understandable, do they have to have those 9 posts already when they boost?
Exactly.
And also, can you boost multiple pictures or only one post?
No, you can boost as many as you want. I mean, Instagram is going to take you, as long as your credit card goes through, it's fine. But you don't want to, you don't want to have all 9 posts about a promotion. That just looks spammy. Yeah. So you should have 1 post out of the 9 talking about a promotion, and that one should be promoted, because you should not spend money on promoting a post that it's not geared towards getting customers. You don't want to focus at first about getting followers. Oh, and by the way, when you launch this, when you boost the first post, Instagram is going to ask you, what do you want the post to bring you? More profile visits, more direct messages, or more
followers?
More engagement to the post. And it's always, in this type of post, it's always about getting more messages, because that's where you're going to close DMs. That's where you're going to close the deals in the DMs. And when you do this, you should also have your Facebook page created, and you just integrate it with your business,
so
with your
everything
Instagram
you
account.
do in Instagram is gonna go directly.
It's gonna post directly on Facebook. That way, you don't have to spend more time to post there too.
If you got a passion for lashes, let me see it. It's time to level up. If you need me to, I'll teach you my 6-figure secret. Better believe it, 'cause I believe in you. You're listening to the Full-Time Lash Artist Podcast. If you want to jumpstart your lash career, you can also watch Cosme's free lash training at www.fulltimelashartist.com. Let's grow.